Muffin Gate, that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. As you may have heard, an audit by the Department of Justice shows the federal government is guilty of wasteful and extravagant spending at a number of law enforcement conferences. Between October 2007 and September 2009, 10 conferences cost the American taxpayer $4.4 million. But I'm not going to endorse a huge tax increase on anybody until the spending matches. In any good conscience, people like me, hardworking people, who make a lot of money, to pay more money until you clean up the act. Look at this Mars.com, Mr. Mars. All right, let's take Perry first, because he's, and we're going to play a clip of Perry and his anti-Obama web ad, which is pretty strong, in the next segment with Chris Wallace. But do you expect tomorrow night, the Republican debate tomorrow night in Orlando, Florida? Fox News anchors Bret Baier, Megyn Kelly, Chris Wallace will be handling the questioning, and some believe the anti-Obama theme might be stepped up tomorrow night in light of a new campaign ad segment tonight. Our pal John has a theme show on Thursday night, Fox Business Network, about where the jobs are. As part of that presentation, Stossel took to the streets.
I looked around for some of those jobs President Obama created. No jobs here. Any jobs here?
Run. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Miller Time segment tonight. Our pal Dennis got a chance to meet Mitt Romney over the weekend. He's also a bit concerned about the growing class warfare deal. The sage of Southern California. Did you see that? And we begin with Bill Clinton sounding very much like a Republican. Kind of.
I personally don't believe we ought to be raising taxes or cutting spending, either one, until we get this economy off.
All right, Tony Bennett, you a big Tony Bennett fan?
Love Tony Bennett.
Yeah, you left your heart in San Francisco, you know, big icon. Well, he goes on the Howard Stern radio program. Turner waxing about private jets.
Do you think that some of the other candidates, I mean, that's a pretty rough term if you're going to say that maybe some of the other candidates are Obama light. I mean, I think that's the worst thing you could call me. Hannity, you're like Obama. I don't think I'd like that. You know, my exclusive interview with the Texas governor and Republican presidential candidate, Rick Perry. Governor, let me ask you this. We have the worst housing market since the Great Depression, the longest period of sustained unemployment since the Great Depression. We got 46.2 million Americans now living in poverty, nearly 1 in 4 children living in poverty. What has, ultimately, if you win this nomination, you're going to be running against President Obama. Make your case to the American people. What would you have done differently? What did he do wrong? And how do you moments ago, you heard exclusively from the Republican frontrunner, Texas Governor Rick Perry. And with tomorrow's GOP debate less than 24 hours away, the governor's setting his sights directly on President Barack Obama with a brand new campaign video. And the twists keep coming in the White House's botched $500 million taxpayer-funded loan to Solyndra. Now 2 executives for the now bankrupt. We just had on Governor Perry. Here, look at this poll with Governor Palin. This is interesting. Governor Palin was on last night, for those of you watching. Look at this, 49-44 against Obama. Now, look what it was back on August 2nd, 56-35. How do you interpret that? And we continue now with our great American panel. All right, so Tony Bennett goes on Howard Stern's Sirius XM radio program, and he says, well, I'm going to play it in a second, followed by his apology.
Well, I think the president's partially responsible for it. Last year, he said he expected...
When I say you, I mean Israel. You feel a little bit frustrated because a year ago the president said at the UN that he's going to help the Palestinians become a state. Then the United States has supported the rebels in Libya and the Arab Spring. Then you've got the problem that you're sort of caught in the whipsaw here politically in our 2012 race because you've got Governor Perry and Governor Romney taking a couple slaps at the president politically. They said that one of them says that the U.S. is throwing Israel under the bus, and the other one said something about the U.S. and appeasement. So you're sort of caught in our political battle. Is that frustrating Israel. The president didn't have enough troubles with the Palestinians seeking statehood. Try this one. There are new troubles tonight for President Obama's health care law. Senator Lindsey Graham says it's going to bankrupt your state. Senator Lindsey Graham joins us. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. That's a very
Operation
interesting
Scandal.
segment.
It just got hotter. Tonight we learned about secret audio tapes. Not only did a gun seller secretly tape the ATF agent, but Congressman Darrell Issa has those tapes. Congressman Issa spoke with us a short time ago. This is a Fox News alert. The United States Supreme Court is refusing to block the execution of Troy Davis. The High Court's decision coming down moments ago. The convicted cop killer is awaiting execution in the state of Georgia. His lawyers made a last-ditch effort to save his life, but the court ruling means the execution will now go forward. We're going to bring you the very latest developments as they happen. It's not just millionaires. Guess who else is going to have to pay more under President Obama's deficit plan? Well, we hate to tell you, but it's you. Probably you, at least. Fox Business Channel senior...
Thank you. Two young American hikers held in an Iranian prison since 2009 are now one step closer to coming home. Shane Bauer and Josh Fatal arrived in Oman earlier today, where they were greeted, as you can see, by family members. It's not known yet when they'll be back in the U.S. Bauer and Fatal were convicted of espionage and faced 8 years in an Iranian prison. The government of Oman paid a bail of $1 million for their freedom. U.S. stocks plunging Wednesday after the Federal Reserve announces new stimulus steps. The Fed saying it will buy long-term Treasury bonds, making it clear a full economic recovery is years away. The Dow lost 284 points. The S&P fell 35 points. The Nasdaq dropping 52 points. The Fed says high unemployment and a depressed housing market pose a significant risk to the U.S. economy.
Well, here's the quote. The White House has no clue. Who says that? Senator Orrin Hatch. Just a short time ago, Senator Hatch went on the record. Senator, nice to see you, sir. You've seen our top stories, but here is the best of the rest. Is this a Kodak moment? And did it go wrong for President Obama? Now, during a group photo... Anyway, New Jersey's Governor Chris Christie is giving out free campaign advice at a town hall in Union, New Jersey. Here is some of it.
My name is Zach. I'm from Springfield, and I'm in 6th grade, and I'm thinking of running for student council in the school. So any tips?
First thing is, make sure that you get a bunch of friends.
And a terrifying scene in China, raging currents carrying away a restaurant boat. The boat broke